आड़ा रखो, लैंडस्केप में रखो।
अच्छा लगा वर्ड।
आड़ा। सो
माय गॉड, पहले बता देते ना, वो पहले कभी कभी ना वो क्वेश्चंस पहले आ जाते हैं, फिर इजी हो जाता है आंसर करना, फिर एक्टिंग हो जाती है थोड़ी।
हमारी पुणे के लोगों की इतनी अच्छी हिंदी नहीं होती है वैसे, मतलब नॉर्थ साइड
पुणे
की।
नहीं, पुणे, अबे फिर
पुणे।
पुणे।
वैसे हमारे पास रीटेक का ऑप्शन भी है, डोंट वरी।
हम भी बना लेंगे, गाड़ी आ जाएगा,
दैट्स
पैसा
नाइस।
भी आ जाएगा, माँ भी है, सब कुछ हो जाएगा।
Hey folks, CA Rachana Ranade here, and I welcome you all to a super interesting Funance episode wherein I'm going to have a person who, I mean, yeah, loves nahi aa raha hai, nikal nahi rahe. I'm so very excited. I'm sure, like every other Indian, you all have binge watched Shark Tank a lot over the past 1 or 2 months, I can say. But never ever in my wildest dream I had thought that after the grand finale episode, I would be interviewing one of the most loved and respected shark on our very own channel. He's a person who is sharing a lot of things in common with me. And what are the common things? I'll just quickly tell you. We both are chartered accountants. If I'm not mistaken, we have both covered. I mean, we both have cleared this exam in the very first attempt. We are Bollywood freaks. We are entrepreneurs. एंड शायद जितना इंटरव्यू से देखा है मे बी उनका भी लव मैरिज है, हम पूछेंगे उनको। तो एंड वो भी कॉलेज वाला प्यार, जैसे मेरा भी कॉलेज वाला प्यार, शादी। आई थिंक ऑल थिंग्स आर इन कॉमन। जस्ट वन स्मॉल डिफरेंस इज व्हाट आई फाउंड कि उनकी और मेरी नेटवर्थ वैसे सेम है, बट आई थिंक ही हैज जस्ट 1 or 2 more zeros. That's the only difference in between us, right? So without any further ado, I can't just wait to interview one of the amazing sharks, CA Aman Gupta. Hi Aman, how are you?
हाय, हाउ आर यू? अभी
राइट,
मैं
राइट,
पीछे
राइट।
आपको सुन रहा था, बैक एंड में आप बातें कर रहे थे और इंट्रोड्यूस कर रहे थे। यू आर फनी,
जी।
इट वाज गुड।
चलिए अमन, तो लाइक आई टोल्ड दैट you two are a Bollywood freak. I'm sure everyone knows about that. But then I thought that before we start with our conversation, let's start this in a fun-filled manner, and let's try and match up Bollywood with finance, right?
ओके,
Because I think we have learned a lot from Bollywood. And let's see ki if I tell you a dialogue, if you are able to guess the movie, and can you connect it with any financial concept? ठीक है? So
माय गॉड, पहले बता देते ना, वो पहले कभी कभी ना वो क्वेश्चंस पहले आ जाते हैं, फिर इजी हो जाता है आंसर करना, फिर एक्टिंग हो जाती है थोड़ी। अब आप पहले क्वेश्चन दे दोगे और सीधा आके यहाँ पे बोलना पड़ेगा। इट इट इज टफ।
देखते हैं।
चलो ट्राई करते
वैस
हैं।
वैसे हमारे पास रीटेक का ऑप्शन भी है, डोंट वरी।
ठीक है, ट्राई करते हैं,
राइट,
चलो डन।
चलिए डन। चलो, सो फर्स्ट वन इज़ अ वेरी ईज़ी वन, व्हिच इज़ लाइक बड़े-बड़े देशों में छोटी-छोटी बातें होती रहती
अरे यार, ये कैसी बात कर दी आपने, ये तो बहुत इजी है यार।
हैं। ब
ये तो मैं
फर्स्ट पहला
एग्जैक्ट
फुल
बता
टॉस
सकता
है।
हूँ। ये तो मैं भी
हाँ।
बता सकता हूँ कौन से टाइम पे आया था उस पिक्चर में।
अमेज़िंग।
कब
तो
शाहरुख खान ने डायलॉग बोला था सेनोरिटा को, कितने बजे, किस टाइम पे?
बट एनी फाइनेंशियल कांसेप्ट दैट यू कैन कोरिलेट टू कि बड़े-बड़े देशों में छोटी-छोटी बातें होती रहती है।
तो दैट्स अ गुड पॉइंट, और आई थिंक ये आजकल हो रहा है, जैसे छोटी चीजें हो जाती हैं, जैसे हमारी इकोनॉमी है इतने, आई फील दैट द इकोनॉमी सो स्ट्रांग,
ट्रू।
and even the companies are doing well. The government is also supporting startups. Government is supporting companies. So छोटा मोटा जब लोग कहते हैं अरे मार्केट गिर गई, पैसे निकाल लो, मैं बोलता हूँ बॉस रिलैक्स करो यार, लॉन्ग टर्म सोचो, मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स सोचो। और ये छोटी बातें हैं जो हो रही है अभी, जो बीच बीच में होती हैं, और
हुँ,
वापस आ जाएगी। मार्केट इज स्ट्रांग, थिंग्स विल बी बैक टू नॉर्मल, एंड थिंग्स विल बाउंस बैक। बड़े बड़े
एब्सोल्युटली।
देशों में ये छोटी छोटी बातें हो रही हैं, होने दो, ठीक हो जाएगा
क्या
सब।
चलो, वन मोर फ्रॉम इन्वेस्टिंग पर्सपेक्टिव नाउ कि आज मेरे
क्या?
पास गाड़ी है, बैंक बैलेंस है, प्रॉपर्टी है, तुम्हारे पास क्या है? हैं? हाउ डू यू लुक एट इट फ्रॉम इन्वेस्टिंग पर्सपेक्टिव?
फ्रॉम इन्वेस्टिंग परस्पेक्टिव, हम भी बना लेंगे, हमारे पास भी आ
आह!
जाएंगी।
आपके आपके स्टाइल में बोल दीजिएगा एक बार।
हम भी बना लेंगे, गाड़ी आ जाएगी,
दैट्स
पैसा
नाइस।
भी आ जाएगा, माँ भी है, सब कुछ हो जाएगा। So I feel that coming back to the finance part, which is a serious part of the life, uh, ये सब हो जाएगा. मतलब keep doing the right things.
Correct.
Things will follow, right? You don't. मैं आपको फाइनेंस से ज्यादा इन्वेस्टिंग से ज्यादा अपने फाइनेंस जो आपने बोला नेटवर्क और इसकी बातें करूं तो till 2 years back my wife was working and
Mhm.
she still is working, but I had no money. I had no salary till, I had changed 4 jobs till I was 38. I had no money. I
Mhm.
had put all my money into the business.
Mhm.
I had only 15 lakhs when I started the business, and I put it back
Mhm.
into this business when I started. But then the company started doing well. We started earning, but I never took money out of the company. I kept reinvesting it back into the business. And बाकी चीजें आ गई, you know.
जी, जी.
After 38, I started drawing a little bit of salary and I did some secondary. I got some money. I started investing also. I become a shark also. So don't run after money.
Yeah.
बाकी सब बना लेंगे, सब बन जाएगा. बेसिक्स
बढ़िया.
ठीक रखो अपने लाइफ के, सब हो जाएगा.
Following passion is what is really important. Other बाकी चीजें आ जाती है is what I guess.
Yes, yes, yes,
फाइनल क्वेश्चन
absolutely.
फॉर यू अमन इज ये आपको मूवी आई गेस आराम से आ जाएगा कि कहीं पे पहुंचने के लिए कहीं से निकलना बहुत जरूरी होता है.
पता है ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है रचना. सीए रचना रानडे. There is a very important point that I feel that they see the success, right? And that is why entrepreneurial stories need to be told very well in India. And this is the first time
True.
I believe after Shark Tank a lot of our stories came out as to where we started, how we started, where we are. People are looking at us today, but people don't know how we went through what we went through. People don't know
Mhm.
how uh, we lost a lot of employees initially because we were starting up and employees did not trust us and
Mhm.
we did not have the confidence of investors and even myself. This is not my first business, so where I
Okay.
am today is because of how many failures I've had in my professional life, and all
True.
of that taught me. उन सब ने हमें सिखाया है क्या क्या करना है और क्या क्या नहीं करना. बहुत सारी कंपनीज ने मुझे सिखाया है क्या क्या करना है क्या क्या नहीं करना. सो
बिल्कुल.
यहाँ पहुंचने के लिए बहुत सारा कुछ करना पड़ा है. और
अमेजिंग, अमेजिंग. सो आई थिंक ये बहुत कम बार ही सोचा होगा कि इतना अच्छा लर्निंग बॉलीवुड के थ्रू डायरेक्टली नहीं लेकिन इनडायरेक्टली भी अपने को मिल सकता है. एक एक डायलॉग पकड़ के कहाँ-कहाँ तक हम घूम के आए अभी. But I
या
think this segment was fun. And to conclude this
या
segment and to move on to our main conversation, if you were to introduce yourself in Bollywood style, आप एक कोई एक डायलॉग बोलना चाहोगे to introduce yourself?
हाय. मैंने अभी पहले भी बोला था अभी कहीं. हाय, मेरा नाम अमन गुप्ता है. नाम तो सुना ही होगा.
आ, मुझे लगा आप बोलेंगे मैं जहाँ पे खड़ा होता हूँ लाइन वहीं से शुरू होती है नाम है.
नॉर्मली लाइन वहीं खत्म होती है क्योंकि मैं लास्ट होता हूँ जहाँ पहुंचने वाला.
You are a chartered accountant, I'm a chartered accountant, and we all
Yes.
are famous for being introverts. Because you ask a chartered accountant to sit at a back office, do loads of calculations, we are very comfortable. But when it comes
Yeah.
to giving presentations in front of anyone, I think
Yeah.
ऐसे बोलती बंद हो जाती है बहुत सारे CAs की. But I think you are a classic exception to that. So were you an extrovert right from childhood, or did you evolve as to who you are today?
No, that's a good question, and nobody has ever asked me this question. But to answer that, yes. So when I was young, 0 to 10 years, probably I would say that I used to be more of an extrovert. More of my personality was more, like हम लोग cricket we used to play cricket in our gully and all that. So I used to play around a lot, had a lot of friends, and we used to get out of the house and meet people down only, right? And used to go to their houses and take cricket. Somebody is giving the ball, somebody has a bat which is better, somebody has the wickets. So used to bring them all together and play, and it was good fun during those days. So I was more extrovert that time. But then, when you our education system at that time was more focused on पढ़ाई मतलब मुझे तो मम्मी ने भी तीन चार लगाए हुए हैं कि पढ़ ले और मतलब you know I used to get like she was very serious about my studies, right? And she wanted me to study. So initially till 10th, I was a very good student. I
Okay.
scored like 94% in my 10th or something like
Mhm.
that. And I did well at that time. You know, now to 94 seems like I'm a loser, but at that time 94 wasn't bad, right?
I
20 years
had got
back.
86, तो मैं तो लूज़र से भी बिलो पॉवर्टी लाइन आ गई मैं तो।
So I'm not, I was a good student, but then at 11th, I changed my school at that time. 10th के आसपास ही change किया था. Then I went into DPS, and I think that was my college life. 2 years, I was
Mhm.
like enjoying my life. I used to go to all the music concerts. I used to go to, uh, bank club, cornucopia, ऐसे करके ना बहुत सारे fests होते थे. I used to go there,
Mhm.
not as a singer, but as an audience. So
Yeah.
when everybody was studying for 11th and 12th used to be like crazy years कि बहुत पढ़ाई करनी पड़ती थी, right? Boards के
Yeah.
लिए, admissions. And
True.
11th or 12th were the years I did not study at all. And I got like 80% in 12th. And
Okay.
after that I went into, I was that phase I became an extrovert again. Then, so the next phase came when I went into my CA. So I was from the foundation course, and foundation क्या होता है स्कूल के बाद ही शुरू कर देते हैं, right? College first year के बाद you start studying.
True, true.
And those 4 years were like crazy. I did not attend college that much, and I mostly worked. You know, uh, वो हमारे को पहले stipend मिलता था. We used to get 300 rupees a month first year. That went into 500 rupees a year second year, and then
Oh,
700 rupees a month.
a
So
month, yeah.
I worked a lot. Yeah, I worked a lot at that time, and I again, went into the study mode,
Hmm, hmm.
and that was the CA mode, and then again became an extrovert. So it was more about people around me which changed me. They influenced me a lot. So
True,
uski wajah se
true.
I had my friends who were more extroverts, and I started becoming an extrovert with them. It was more like that. So
So,
company
like you said,
matters.
yeah, so like you said right now, a lot of people have been influencing you, maybe. So, for you, it was like a wave of being extrovert, introvert. Uh, Out of those people whom you were surrounded by, any specific person who guided you to your boat?
No, I think there have been a lot of influences in my life. If I can rephrase that question to
Sure.
look at influences. So my grandfather was a big influence. He was like, my full name is Aman Gupta. So
Mhm.
there is a Gupta means, a banya, right? I don't know whether
I
you
know.
know that. So Gupta means somebody who's, very concerned about how he spends money. That has been the
Yeah.
traditional way of life. And my grandfather used to spend very judiciously. And I feel
Mm.
I've learned a lot on money management from him. And he used to say one line saying, you should spend money but not waste it. So
Amazing.
that has been a guiding principle in my life, in my way of life. That, it's not that we don't spend in marketing, we spend, we are. And that we should not, if there is any way we can save,
True.
कहाँ बचा सकते हैं, everything we can save money on, right?
Mhm.
That is how I have, so he's been a very important part in my, and then I keep changing my people I learn from. I'll tell you frankly, Rachna,
Mhm.
maybe after this conversation with you, I have a few more Bollywood dialogues for my next season, right? So learning doesn't stop from one person. Keep learning.
Correct, correct. So, like you said that the people that we are surrounded with are like a huge. The variety is too much, right? So,
Yes.
whenever we are trying to learn about the people, so now I'm moving from normal people to people being customers now. So whenever you are starting a business, I think the
Yeah.
one of the first few steps is understanding the people, understanding their requirement, what they want, and understanding what is missing, what are these people looking out for, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
when you started your journey as an entrepreneur, uh,
Mm.
what was that one gap that you found that these people uh, who are there surrounded, not only आपके एरिया में नहीं, आपके स्पेसिफिक सिटी में नहीं, all over India, what was that missing point that you found in the entire space that you built your boat in? So because I'll tell you quickly about my own thing as well.
Yeah.
I started this channel for spreading financial literacy in India. So
Yeah.
after clearing CA, I was teaching MBA students, I was teaching CA students. I've taken a
Wow.
lot of corporate trainings also. I've taken trainings on behalf of SEBI, and everywhere I have found one thing in common, that finance simplified, this these two words put together were missing. Because जो कोई भी
Wow.
न्यूज़ चैनल पे आता था, they were like सूट बूट में, and they used to talk about lot of jargons, like people would go crazy after listening to those jargons, and always used to feel that finance is not my cup of tea. So I
Yeah.
thought
Yeah.
this is what I need to challenge, and finance is something which anyone and everyone can understand if a little bit interest is shown in that area. So I
Yeah.
tried to analyze the people around me, I tried to find that niche in which I started
Yeah.
my channel. So what was that niche that you were looking at while you started boat?
Yeah. So, that's a that's an interesting topic you've chosen right now, and I think consumers in India keep changing, and I've said it before also that in India consumers will keep changing, and you need to change with them. Otherwise, they will change you. They will change your brand. So my philosophy has been that we saw, we disrupted. We Somebody else can come see and disrupt us. So keep moving on, keep changing yourself, keep adapting to the consumers, keep making things better, keep making products better. So when we were starting off, no, headphones used to be a very boring category. मतलब
Mm,
क्या है हेडफोन में क्या रखा होता है? Everybody was like my dad was like कि बॉस हेडफोन तो मार्केट में फ़ोन के साथ फ्री मिलता है. We made people wear headphones rather than on their ear, on their neck. So we changed the way people were using headphones. People were not wearing headphones for listening to music. People wore our
got it.
headphones to show off,
Wow,
to make them feel cool, to make them feel
amazing.
amazing. So our headphones were more like neck phones where you hold it here rather than headphones. So, if you look at in the last few years, a lot of people now are wearing headphones in their necks and walking. It's a style
Absolutely.
statement for a lot of us. It's a style statement to wear that. So that's what we saw is changing, and the youth of India is a very smart youth. Uh,
Mhm.
they were changing, and we changed, and we gave them logical products at logical price points, and there was an aspirational brand, and they loved us. They bought us.
Amazing. But like you said right now, that headphones was a space, I guess, when you might have started, was already cluttered.
Mm.
At that time, of course, Apple, Bose, JBL, Skull Candy, and whatnot, they were definitely predominant in the market even at that point in time. So was there any secret sauce which was there wherein you were able to distinguish yourself from all these brands, या फिर तब भी आपने वही बोला था कि हम भी बना लेंगे, ऐसे कुछ हुआ था?
No, so हम भी बना लेंगे से it's actually our DNA. It's my DNA. It's Samir, my co-founder, his DNA. It's our company
Mhm,
DNA. It's the way of life for all of us.
mhm,
It is like we don't care,
mhm,
other, there are a lot of people who say that, it's a crowded market, and it was when we entered. There were so many brands, and we did well. We came and did well in a very commoditized space. हमें डर
mhm,
नहीं लगता. हमें लगता है अगर कुछ ऐसा क्या है कि हम में नहीं है. That's a self belief, confidence on which we do things. That बहुत हम भी कर लेंगे. मतलब जैसे वो मेरी मम्मी, मतलब मेरे को कोई कहता था कि घमंड तो रावण का भी नहीं टिका, और बात सच है. इट मीन्स
mm,
दैट यू शुड नॉट शो एरोगेंस, बट यू शुड हैव द राइट एटीट्यूड टू डू इट. सो
true.
what happens with a lot of brands or a lot of companies is they start feeling that they know it all. But for
Mm,
us, it's a way of life that, boss, we don't know anything. We still say that we want to learn.
correct.
We want to be as humble as possible, and we want to learn. So, hum bhi bana lenge is more like, and it came from the fact that somebody said, ki, I have a X billion dollar company. So I don't know, so what? We'll also make it. So
Yeah,
there is nothing we can't do
true.
if we look at the power of somebody, of yourself, that क्यों नहीं I did not know marketing. I'll tell you a small example.
Absolutely.
I had no marketing knowledge. I am a chartered
Mm,
accountant. I did MBA finance. I don't know marketing. I've never studied marketing. But when I went into the company, I had no money to hire a marketer. So I learned
mm,
marketing. I went to YouTube. I spent 10 days looking at YouTube videos, looking at how marketing is done, how Amazon works, how Flipkart works, how cost per click works, how Google works, how Facebook works. I learned it and I'm doing it. So
true.
we feel that we can't that's a probably as a chartered accountant we all learned that right हम लोगों ने जब 10 दिन में 10 एग्जाम करते हैं ना बॉस उससे ज्यादा अच्छी लर्निंग
True.
कहीं नहीं मिलती लाइफ में
True, true,
जब
true.
वो दो महीने में 18 घंटे पढ़ता था 18 hours a day I used to study for two
Mm-hmm.
months in the morning I used to put the windows off so that the light doesn't come in, so that it feels like dark. And I used to put a do not disturb outside. And I used to
Oh,
study the whole night and the whole morning I could sleep because there was so much disturbance over the day. So I used to study like
wow.
in the night, the whole night. So, being a chartered accountant also, you know exactly what I mean, right? You've done that.
Absolutely.
You've been there, done that. So I don't fear anything. I
True.
just want to do everything. I feel I can do if I can't do, then I can have people do it, learn from them, have them with us to do it.
True.
Nothing
So
should
I
stop
think
us.
absolutely. So whatever you said right now, I think I can just correlate this with one sentence that I love. I had read it somewhere that ideas are no one's monopoly. It's all about execution.
I
So
agree.
तो ये एंड आपने जैसे बोला लाइक वी एज चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स आई थिंक स्टडिंग फॉर 16 hours 18 hours like other people might not get that vibe but I think two chartered accountants on screen I think we have been there like you said if we don't slog for those many number of hours then clearing it in the first attempt or even in the second attempt is like next to impossible so
Yeah,
we
yeah,
know the
yeah.
efforts that we have been taking since then and you know आगे भी
Mhm.
वैसे ही करते रहेंगे for sure. So, with whatever you said right now, the CA thing got you more into using ROI and other stuff to
Mhm.
evaluate certain propositions, right? So, did
Exactly,
you use
absolutely.
right? So, did you use all these concepts that we learned in CA even while shortlisting propositions or shortlisting pitches that you got during Shark Tank India? Would you use whatever we learned during CA or your marketing skills also while evaluating these pitches?
एब्सोल्युटली एंड मैं बता रहा हूँ कि बैकग्राउंड लोग कहते हैं कि सीए का क्या फायदा हुआ सीए से मुझे
Mm,
जितना फायदा हुआ ना क्योंकि लोग कहते हैं अब तू मार्केटिंग कर रहा है तो तेरी सीए की डिग्री तो वेस्ट होगी नहीं भाई
possible.
जितना
नहीं, नहीं.
हाउ मच सीए हैज taught me nothing else has taught me you know what I mean
True.
see it is because of knowing अगर मुझे कुछ करना होगा मुझे पता है अगर अगर 2 दिन भी होंगे ना मैं कर लूंगा क्योंकि बस 24 घंटे होते हैं 18 घंटे कर सकते हैं स्लॉग कर सकते हो सीए के
True.
प्रिंसिपल्स जो होते हैं फाइनेंस के अगर आपने वो सीख लिए तो लाइफ लॉन्ग आपको अब तो आप मार्केटिंग करने चाहते हो इफ आई वेंट टू एन एमबीए स्कूल फर्स्ट ईयर यू आर आल्सो टॉट फाइनेंस यू आर टॉट
Absolutely.
प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ फाइनेंस राइट so as a CA you've learned all that you know all that and you just brush up on those skills going forward valuation is done by CAs due diligences are
Absolutely.
done by CAs
Mm,
audits are done by CAs they are the ones who tell you what you are doing right or wrong so
true.
boss, CAs are critical in anybody's life.
So,
Keep yourself
like,
surrounded with a lot of CAs. My family is also about CAs. There are a
okay.
lot of friends around CAs. So, I advise everybody that you should have CAs around you always.
So, same here. Like, I am a CA. My husband is a CA. My brother is a CA. My sister-in-law is a
Nice.
CA. So, too much surrounded with CA. But then, you know, Aman, coming back to the pitches that I was talking about in Shark Tank India, whatever episodes, I might have watched almost 70-80% of the episodes of that entire first season. In that, majority of the companies I can say were product driven. Few I was not able to find out any specific pitch which was a service driven a person driven kind of a pitch. So just to give you my own example now, like I have this small startup wherein I have various stock market related courses and I sell various courses through my platform which is about basics of stock market. I teach fundamental analysis, technical analysis. I have 7 such modules, right? and I've been running this since last 2 years, and with a team of one whole and soul person, right from top level management, middle level management, lower level everything, only me, jai wali,
Nice.
jhadu
That's
wali,
that's the
everything all in
spirit of
one.
entrepreneurship.
Yeah,
Amazing. That's the
absolutely.
spirit of entrepreneurship.
To a team of 20.
Yeah.
So if you were to evaluate a business which is based on a person's skill, then
Yeah.
what could be the parameters that you would check while evaluating or valuing such a business?
वैसा जो आपने बात बोली ना मैं I have done a lot of in so they were when we entered Shark Tank
Mhm.
some Anupam was an amazing investor. He's done 200 investments, right? Ashneer
Mm.
was a very he also used to look at investments from a different eye. I am not
Mhm.
a investor. Okay? I have not had like so many investments, but
Mhm.
I have done investments based on people. And for me, like you said, I am the like you said, like Rachana has said, I was the lower level, top level, bottom level. From this, you are the PN and you are the CEO also of your own company.
Absolutely
It's the
true.
passion with which I believe that 90% of any business is passion. I have invested in a company in Shark Tank called Loka. And this guy was doing metaverse. And his company was not even started. उसका zero business. मैंने बोला बॉस मैंने बहुत पैसे कमाए बहुत मुश्किल से पैसे कमाए हैं तू वेस्ट
Mhm.
मत करियो मेरे पैसे and this guy is like कर दूं कुछ कर दूंगा so you need to I took bet on people I have taken that bet on people there were some young people uh, who have come for the clothing. They were like 20, 22 years old and they were just doing clothing. And there was a sneaker guy, 22. Bummer guy was 25 years old. I
Yeah.
have taken bets on people. And I'll tell you,
Mhm.
after Shark Tank, it's been like 4 or 5 months because it's just been aired and all that. 2 months back, it was aired. Their businesses have gone up. We've got better valuation. We invested at X.
Wow.
They are 3X, 4X valuation we are already getting
Yeah,
because the
wow.
business has gone up. And you bet on people. These people have helped
Absolutely.
us these and then it's the business model. So for me 90% is passion of the entrepreneur and 10% is the problem he's solving. And
Mhm.
that's how I do my investments.
Amazing. But like right now, you said because of Shark Tank, so many people I think got an amazing exposure. Otherwise, they would not have gotten this opportunity to
Yeah,
display their product in front of our
yeah,
entire country. Exposure to experts like you, at least, and of course, they might not have gotten funding from the experts as well. But
yeah.
now that the first season is over, do you
Yeah.
believe that this entire startup wave that has started, I think, which has caught a lot of speed, I can say, because of Shark Tank India. Could this slow down with the first season getting over, or do you feel that this snowball effect is going to continue in the years to come?
No, no, I think it's the start of entrepreneurship in the country. And if you look at this is the first year there was our prime minister also said there is
Yeah,
a startup day being celebrated. And in fact, in the victory speech also yesterday after winning elections, I was
yeah.
reading and I was hearing that he said that there are so many startups which have come to the country, right? Which are coming up in the country, and I think it's and he also said that there has been no brand. We only have like fetish for foreign brands, and now Indian
Mhm.
brands are getting popular. And why can't we have brands from India which can go to the world? Why can't we
Mhm.
make in India? And all these
True.
things are actually starting up now. I was surprised by the number of startups which came into the show, man. It was outstanding. I was telling Sony people, boss, तुम ला ही नहीं पाओगे अच्छे founders को भी VCs ले जाएंगे. VCs are strong guys and they'll take over all the good companies. But I was surprised at the number of startups in India and how entrepreneurs from different. There was a sister-in-law couple who was like from Bihar, and they were doing
Mhm. Oh, yes.
jhaji
Uh,
achar.
yeah.
Outstanding.
Outstanding.
There was a mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, which was selling those cups, right?
True.
And there was a family, and there was a family of a son, his wife, his mother, and his sister. All of them लेट्स ट्राई जो चिप्स वो है लेट्स
Yes,
ट्राई
yes,
उसमें
yes.
चारों हैं अरे बॉस दिस इज अमेजिंग मतलब मैं
True.
बता रहा हूँ कि मेरी ताई जी मेरे साथ रहती है नीचे ताई जी उनको
Mhm.
वैल्यूएशन समझ आ रही है बच्चों को वैल्यूएशन समझ आ रही है बच्चे स्टार्टअप बात कर रहे हैं आई थिंक ये तो शो बहुत सही टाइम पे आया है और
Absolutely.
इट बीन अ फैंटास्टिक थिंग फॉर द कंट्री And it has just
Uh,
started. It has just started.
क्या बात है. So, if I take this cue again from your answer that it is just starting, right? This wave is ideally going to continue. This is just maybe the beginning. Picture अभी
Yeah.
बाकी है मेरे दोस्त, बहुत ज़्यादा picture
Yeah.
बाकी है.
अरे आप तो पूरे बॉलीवुड हो यार.
So, with that, a question that I would want to ask you is that agreed that maybe this startup craze, I can say, which I think that is more amongst the teenagers who are in college. Maybe 18, 19 is the age group, is what I can think of right now, 18 onwards. But do you feel that the entrepreneurial skills और एक employer बनने की चाह जो होती है, should that be inculcated from school itself? Because I'll tell you, Aman, what my take on this is. I believe that our entire education system, currently at least, is focusing more on this point that padho or padho, and that is the key to your successful career, and that will help you to become a very good employee, and you will get a big fat package, is what I believe our education system is about right now. Because my kid is in standard 3, I read his books. So till, I mean, 3 standard 3 is, I know, very small, but meri bhatiji jo hai, she is also in standard 8. Whatever books I just go through, I feel that it's not, get वो ऐसे एक entrepreneurial push देने की कुछ बात दिखती तो नहीं है मुझे. So do you feel our education system could be tweaked a little to get more and more entrepreneurs in our country?
It is, मैं बताता हूँ हमारे ना कंट्री ना बहुत बहुत बड़ी है, बहुत ज्यादा चीजें, बहुत बड़े बड़े पुरानी चीजें हैं हमारे पास, और हर चीज को चेंज होने में टाइम लगता है, टाइम लगेगा
Mhm,
और हो जाएगा. मैं आपको सिंपल बताता हूँ, हम लोग ना बहुत सारा माल इंडिया में नहीं बनाते थे, तो
mhm,
लोगों ने धीरे धीरे, मतलब मेक इन इंडिया गवर्नमेंट इज ऑल्सो सपोर्टिंग, हमने स्टार्ट कर दिया. सेम वे जैसे आप कह रहे हो ना कि अभी पढ़ाते नहीं है. हाँ, नहीं पढ़ाते होंगे, लेकिन चेंजेस आ रहे हैं. जब चेंज आएगा सोसाइटी में, तो ऑटोमेटिकली चेंज होगा. एजुकेशन सिस्टम चेंज हो रहा है. अभी बहुत
बिल्कुल.
सारी गवर्नमेंट्स ने भी ऐसा कोई प्लान शुरू करे हैं जिसमें शार्क टैंक जैसे इफेक्ट होता है, एंड दे आल्सो पार्टिसिपेट, एंड यू गिव
It's
यू नो
it's
यू गिव
a
सम.
meaty Ministry of Electronics and Telecommunication. They are doing
हाँ,
this certain
हाँ,
startups के लिए.
और एंड अभी तक बोलना शुरू हो गया है, टॉप लेवल से शुरू हो गया है. जब मैं कह रहा था, प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने बोला स्टार्टअप डे प्रनाउंस होने लग गया, अनाउंस होने लग गया है. पहले जब मैंने स्टार्ट किया था ना, तब ये प्रॉब्लम होती थी कि लोगों को लगता था बिजनेस बिजनेस कर रहे हो, एंड बिजनेस यूज्ड टू बी लुकिंग एट बिजनेस, नॉट इवन बिजनेस. नेगेटिव
Yeah,
कॉनोटेशन होता था कि यार वो बिजनेस में है, बिजनेसमैन है, तो गंदा होगा. तो पहले एक टाइम
exactly.
होता था जब वो बोलते थे, मैंने भी स्टार्ट किया था, तो लोग बोलते थे यार, कि मेरी मदर इन लॉ भी कहती थी, अरे यार, बिजनेस क्यों कर रहा है, अच्छी वाली नौकरी है इसकी. तो वो नेगेटिव होता था. और आज वो
Hmm,
खुद अपने सबको बोलते हैं, अपने घर वालों को, यार तुम भी कुछ स्टार्ट करो ना यार, देखो 24 साल 25 साल के बच्चे जा रहे हैं. सो
hmm,
दैट चेंज इज कमिंग, दैट
true.
चेंजेस, यू नो एंड इट विल कम इवन इन आवर एजुकेशन सिस्टम. आई डोंट थिंक, if you look at the current schooling, and my daughter is now in fifth, and she's
Okay.
9, right? And she is also now, in her school, there are they've started calling entrepreneurs. They've started doing different
Wow.
things. It's not just about science and maths or commerce
Hmm,
anymore.
hmm,
It's about doing better things, and I think things will change. Give it time, and
absolutely.
education system is changing.
So
It
in
will
fact,
change.
again, like you said, there are two words. Either it could be a revolution or an evolution. So I think this entire
Yeah,
change will be more of an evolution. It'll evolve, it'll take some time,
yeah,
but I think we should give that much breather, because like you said, we are a
yeah,
very big country. It can't be a forced
yeah.
decision. It'll have to evolve
Yes,
slowly and steadily, right?
yes,
But
yes,
I
yes.
think there are certain points, certain trigger points which speed up this evolution process. And I think Shark Tank India is one of the triggers which has surely brought in that inquisitiveness amongst even children. So my son the other day was asking, "Mummy, what is this Horeca?" I said, "ये
Oh,
कहाँ पे सुना तुमने Horeca?" He said, "Shark Tank." So I was like,
wow,
wow.
wow.
And I said, "Why
Yeah,
did you search Shark Tank?" He said,
yeah,
I was on YouTube, and in the history,
yeah,
maybe you might have seen Shark Tank, and that is why
yeah.
it popped up." So I'm like,
Wow.
amazing. So So
Yeah,
this in itself is an achievement, right? Like standard 3
absolutely.
kid asking for all these specific terms. I think Shark Tank has taught a lot of terms through this entire series. One term specifically I could relate with, which was talked about so many times in the show, was the D2C type of companies. So for the benefit of our viewers, if you could just talk about what exactly D2C is, how it is different from other product companies, if you can just tell about that.
D2C होता है direct, it means direct to consumer, right? And
Yeah.
D2C is, uh, is a way of life which is for the future. What is
Mhm.
happening is earlier we used to be, selling through manufacturer, retailer, and then super stockists, and then to the consumer. But now you sell directly from the manufacturer to the consumer.
Mhm.
So brand is selling direct to the consumer, D2C. So you
Correct.
eliminate the middleman and reach directly through to the consumer via marketplaces or via your own website, and
Mhm.
you get instant feedback from your consumer. So it's a new industry, and
Correct.
D2C is here to stay because brands have understood that gone are those days when you used to need like billions of dollars to open a business.
Mm.
Gone are those days when you used to have a distribution network to get into the consumer. You can just start a brand if you have the right product, market it well, you open your website and start reaching the consumer directly. Distribution has become digital, marketing has become digital. So just
Mhm.
go direct to the consumer. That's what D2C is. And yeah, Shark Tank में भी बहुत सारी D2C companies आई थी, and it's
Yeah.
emerging, and that's the new India.
Amazing. So, any specific metrics, Aman, you feel that in the D2C business, this metrics has to be good so that the company can succeed? Or maybe these two, three matrices should be good for any D2C company to succeed?
I would not say any only D2C. I look at it from a very different point of view. The customer repeat rate is very important, whether it's D2C
Mhm.
or any other company.
True.
The customer love is very important, where consumers like your product. The product should be good, that they come back again and again. Second, you should not overspend on acquiring the consumers. Consumers are very
Mm.
smart. Look at what is happening in the stock market today. Companies which had no business models are now getting lost in transit, right? Why is that? Because consumers understand, boss, business it's back to basics, and basics work. आपको 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 जैसे मैं कोर लैंग्वेज में बोलता हूँ, धंधा चलाना चाहिए, बिजनेस करना आना
Mm.
चाहिए, आरओआई समझ आनी चाहिए, एबिटा समझ आना चाहिए, प्रॉफिट बिफोर टैक्स, प्रॉफिट आफ्टर टैक्स, नॉट लॉस बिफोर टैक्स एंड लॉसेस फॉर नेक्स्ट 5 years.
True,
so,
true.
so, so बिजनेस के बेसिक्स वही है जो जो
Absolutely.
पान वाला भी चलाता है कि मैंने 10 रुपए में खरीदा है, 11 में बेचना है, 1 रुपए में बेचना है, 100 पीस बेचना है, तो मैं 100 रुपए आज के कमा लिए। सबको बिजनेस का बेसिक वही रहेगा। So,
Absolutely.
whether it's D2C, whether it's B2B, whatever it is, look at your consumer well,
True,
ensure
true,
that he's
true.
happy with your product, he comes back to buy you again and again, and you are able to satisfy the consumer, you are able to satisfy the stakeholder,
Mhm.
the employee, the team member, and definitely if all of this is happy, your shareholder will be happy.
Absolutely. But the point that you made right now, Man, that we have to check out at EBITDA, at PBT, at PAT, all these words, right?
Everything.
So, whatever new companies which got listed on the stock exchange right now in the last maybe 8 to
Yeah.
10 months, I can say, many of the new age companies were such which got very heavy valuations, but unfortunately, they were not able to perform well on the stock market.
Yeah.
Many of them have even gone below the issue price.
Yes.
So I think one common pain point in all these companies that I saw was that they were loss making when it comes to the utmost bottom line. So instead of
Yeah.
profit after tax, it was like loss after tax, even loss before tax also, I should say.
Yeah.
But
There is
you
no
know,
tax.
yeah, there is no tax. The company is in losses only, right? But if I were to ask about both, whatever I have read on the websites, even in the documents, it says that your company has been making consistent profits. And I mean, is there any specific strategy that you have used to ensure that your company makes back to back profits? Any specific input that you have on this?
मैं कह रहा हूँ ना, हम लोग बहुत बेसिक बिजनेसमैन है।
Hmm.
हमें इतना जब हम और ये जो कंपनीज लिस्ट हुई है ना, मैं नाम नहीं लेना चाहता, ये ना इंडिया में ना रैट रेस है, बहुत सारा जो इन्वेस्टर्स ना रैट रेस में घुस जाते हैं। तो इनको फोमो होता है, इन्वेस्टमेंट कम्युनिटी ना
Hmm.
फोमो से चलती है। ठीक है। और वो फोमो इन्वेस्टर्स को होता था कि बॉस यही कंपनी अच्छी चल रही है, ये पोस्टर बॉय, मीडिया उनको कंपनीज को पोस्टर बॉय बना देती है, और वो पोस्टर बॉयज को लोग इन्वेस्ट करते रहते हैं, उसके आसपास की कंपनी ढूंढ लेते हैं, उस पर इन्वेस्ट करते रहते हैं। और बॉस पहले अंदर तो झांक के देख लो कि बॉस बिजनेस मॉडल है भी या नहीं है। बहुत
True.
बिजनेस मॉडल है नहीं कंपनी का, कभी वो कुछ कर रहे हैं, कभी कुछ कर रहे हैं, कभी कुछ कर रहे हैं, यहाँ लॉसेस करते हैं, यहाँ बंद कर
Hmm.
देते हैं। तो आई थिंक बेसिक्स वर मिसिंग। और वो एक ह्यूमन क्राई चलता है मार्केट में, और सबको पता है कि उनको उनको उन कंपनीज का क्या हालत है इवेंचुअली। एक ना मैं अगेन बेसिक की बात बताता हूँ कृष्णा।
Mhm.
ये ये पब्लिक है, ये सब जानती है। सुना है वो गाना, ये पब्लिक है।
Yeah.
तो बॉस ये पब्लिक है। सो इट इज व्हाट इट इज, राइट?
True, true, true. Amazing. So I think we have touched upon a lot of subjects, right? From how you started your journey to you being a shark and evaluating various business models. You starting your business from a co-working space. In fact, I started my business from my home only, and there was a spare storeroom kind of a thing. And slowly and steadily, I started encroaching the entire house from one room to two rooms, three rooms. Finally, I requested my family. We all shifted somewhere else, and now the same old home is my office.
Wow.
So
Wow, so
yeah, so
nice.
I think all these stories are pretty interesting. And Aman, it was
Beautiful.
amazing talking to you. Got a lot of inputs from you. I mean, Shark Tank India पे आप जब भी आपकी commentary देते थे तब भी सीखने को definitely मिला था. आज भी बहुत ज़्यादा inputs मिल गए. But I think before we conclude, एक rapid fire round if you're okay with that.
श्योर। डन,
Sure?
मजा आएगा। चलो।
मजा
कॉफी
आएगा.
विद करण था ना पहले, उसमें रैपिड फायर होता था। अब हो गया है डिस्कशन विद रचना। कॉफी विद रचना, कॉफी पी रहा हूँ, कॉफी विद
Coffee
रचना,
with
कम
Rachana.
ऑन रचना।
अरे एक कप ला
शूट।
दे. So, which is the most interesting startup that you have ever invested into?
I like this the company Bummer which I've invested in.
Yeah,
It's run by a young guy and he's
I've
doing
seen
well.
that episode. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a very interesting company. It's just the recent one which is coming to my mind, but all of them are good, yeah. मतलब
amazing. The second question is, what is the secret formula to get into Kapil Sharma show?
पता नहीं यार, मतलब my it was a very happy moment for me to get into the
Yeah,
Kapil Sharma show. In fact, when I went to the show, I was zoned out. I was lost. I was like as if I'm watching live Kapil Sharma show, and he was making us laugh so much. And this guy's so spontaneous, yeah. So there is a good movement that it's only not the celebrities, but the entrepreneurs who are becoming like
absolutely.
celebrities. I saw you on the front page 2 days back on Women's Day in a newspaper, right?
Wow.
Which
Yeah, thank you.
entrepreneur gets into the front page of a newspaper, Rachna? You were. So entrepreneurs are being celebrated by businesses, by serials, by comedians. It's outstanding. We are living a dream of startup in India.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
And all those startups are being evaluated by sharks. And then the next question is, who is your favorite shark?
I like Namita and Piyush a lot.
Mhm.
They are my favorite sharks. Both of them are my favorite sharks, and I like all of them. I wouldn't say that they're not good, but if you had to name them out, then yeah, Vinita also comes there. But there is these two which I like.
Cool, cool. Because also you gave a reference of Bollywood, and we have been talking about it so much. Any specific film that you would recommend everyone to watch? Not only because of the fun element, but because of some learning that you got from the movie. It could be a movie, it could be some Netflix series or Amazon series, Bollywood, whatever.
जिंदगी ना मिलेगी दोबारा मुझे बहुत अच्छी लगती है। वो क्योंकि इट्स अ फन, it's got a lot of learnings, but you should also enjoy life,
True,
what Hrithik Roshan was not doing, right? And then he realized that you can also enjoy life along with working. DDLJ तो
absolutely.
मेरी all time favorite है, you know.
So, from Bollywood to OTT platforms, any specific YouTube content that you watch? Any specific genre, any specific channel that you love to watch?
Yeah, I watch CA Rachana Ranade's channel.
Oh my God,
That is
that was इसी के लिए कान तरस गए थे.
so that's a good YouTube channel. एंड मैं यूट्यूब से ज्यादा ओटीटी ज्यादा देखता हूँ मतलब एंड इट चेंजेस राइट ओटीटी में तो आज
Yeah.
कुछ आ रहा है तो मैंने शार्क टैंक यूएस भी बहुत बार देखा हुआ है अभी
Mhm.
मैं जैसे वो गेम ऑफ थ्रोन्स देखता था पहले बीच
Yeah.
में फिर ये नेटफ्लिक्स का ये वाला आया था ना वो जो क्या था मैं भूल गया दैट स्पेनिश वो जो नाम है
Bella
क्या
Ciao wala. Money heist.
हाँ मनी हाइस्ट वेला चाओ was was my favorite.
Just last one or two question. Any crazy fan moment that you can recollect?
There's this guy Prathamesh. He
Mhm.
came to in Shark Tank,
Mhm.
and he came and he wasn't able to see, but he came and said मेरे को अमन सर के साथ मिलना है अमन सर से मिलना है and then he knew everything about boat. He knew
Mm.
me. He knew about my life even before Shark Tank. And so I really loved him, and I've been in touch with him and his mother. So that was one of the craziest moments for me.
And on to the last question. Any specific perks or drawbacks that you can figure out after becoming much more famous after Shark Tank India?
We are in public light, right?
Mhm.
And the positive is that people recognize me and people love me and my brand even more. And the negative is, I would say that firstly, it is not easy because the expectations
Mm.
have gone up from everyone. Every family member wants to meet me, which who had ignored me for 40 years, and you can't say no to them. Each of my
Amazing.
relatives says that I am their favorite, where I was non-existent in their life, right? I, so
I can
I
very well
got
relate to what you are saying, Aman.
every success is
True, true,
relative,
true.
right? But after success, I have more relatives, I would say, right? So, so the drawback is we have to live up to the expectations. There is public eye on us.
Amazing. I think that was a very nice rapid fire round, and I don't have any hamper or something like that. Maybe I can just gift this virtually to you, and you just say
Thank
thank
you,
you for that.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, thank you so
Any
much for calling me on this
yeah.
show. It was
Any
amazing.
closing thoughts on your company boat before we conclude? Any closing thoughts?
Boat हमारी मतलब it's like my baby. Boat is like Samir and I started boat with a lot of love. We love doing what we are doing, and the company is uh, the company is made up of there are a lot of talented people we've got an outstanding CEO, we've got a good team of people we've hired, the senior management is getting there, but more than that it's the boat heads who love us even more. And जब तक consumers तुम्हें the consumers keep loving you, you have everything else which will work towards you, is what I would say. So company is and we are happy that now we have a lot of good investors, and as people we are not bad people, so we will keep doing whatever it takes to ensure that we keep doing the right things ethically. We keep taking care of the stakeholders, whoever they may be, and
Amazing,
both
amazing.
heads will keep rocking, and we will keep them with that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So all the best, Aman, for the journey of boat, and may your boat grow bigger and bigger in size.
Thank you.
All the very best to you, and thanks a
Thank
lot
you.
for coming on to for this entire interview.
No, no, thanks for
Thanks, thanks,
inviting me. It was amazing.
thanks a lot.